I'm 30 seconds into writing this script and I've hit a hard wall because I don't know what the plural for Genesis is. Genesis. Genesi? If cactus is to cacti and octopus is to octopi, then it stands to reason that Genesis, hello Maya, would be to genocide. Speeding onto your gaming consoles in 1991, Green Hill Zone wowed players all around the world as the opening level to Sonic the Hedgehog. But it did so much more than merely introduce the game. Green Hill Zone ushered in an entirely new kind of platformer, rivaling the likes of Mario, Mega Man, and Castlevania. With its tropical landscape boasting lush vegetation and a vibrant coastal view, this California-inspired level stood out big time. This was the showcase of Sega's vision for Sonic and his lifestyle. Fast, colorful, and completely unique. This is the complete history of Green Hill Zone. The visual style set the tone for the Sonic series. A completely new world, similar but not exactly like anything you could put your finger on in the real world. Collapsing wooden bridges, checkered terrain, sweeping cliffs just begging for you to throw yourself off of, and a color scheme inspired by the work of real-life pop artist Izan Suzuki. Not to mention that music. It perfectly captures the upbeat, joyous, and adventurous nature that the design is clearly going for. It's the kind of thing that you'll hear once early in the day and find yourself humming just before bed. It's all more than enough to immediately stimulate and engage its players, and that's largely thanks to the creative heads behind its development. Leveraging his experience as a level designer for the hit beat-em-up Altered Beast, Hirokazu Yasuhara handled the bulk of our Green Hill Zone's design. He'd later go on to contribute to Jak and Daxter, as well as Uncharted, but before that he had his hands full collaborating with 14 additional members of the newly formed Sonic team, not to be confused with Team Sonic. Just as importantly, Sonic's composer, Masato Nakamura, worked diligently to create the absolute banger of a soundtrack. What other video games did he work on, you might ask? Well, none actually. Unless you count Sonic the Hedgehog 2. This guy actually was better known for being a member of the Japanese pop band Dreams Come True, which went on to sell 50 million albums across their full discography. In my most recent playthrough, given this information, I was trying to listen to the music with kind of a different ear. I was looking for anything that sounded particularly poppy. And while I'm no expert, it was ridiculously catchy, every single song. Before long, I was humming along to each one of them. Feels to me like Sega took a pretty big risk hiring someone to do the soundtrack for their flagship game that had no prior video game experience, but for all intents and purposes, that risk paid off. That was a good gamble. Now, what exactly was the rest of the team doing? Well, the aesthetic was set. Now it was just a matter of delivering the best gameplay experience. How do we make this a fun experience that not only looks good and sounds good, but feels good too? They walked a line here, see, because we gotta go fast, but we don't want to just blow through the entire level and miss all the good stuff. What do? We had loops. We had zigzags, moving platforms and crumbling bridges. And let's put ladybugs on wheels, and I want you to give me a big red fish, but give it like the scariest teeth that you can imagine. And I want you to do a wasp that shoots laser bullets, please. It has to fit the scenery. All of it has to fit the scenery though. It's a special game. Throughout the level, we bear witness to a series of unique staples. As mentioned, we've got those unique terrains, we've got those imaginative bug fish robots that slow you down just enough to appreciate the level without stopping you hard in your tracks, and we've also got the first ever Sonic boss fight, Dr. Eggman with a wrecking ball. It fits the rest of the level's vibe, it's neat, it's fun, it's a good confidence builder for the subsequent levels, and like every other Eggman encounter in the game, it takes 8 hits to beat him. It's a simple concept and it's never really needed to be celebrated like the rest of the zone. Although, there's a bit of an homage in Sonic Mania that, in my opinion, does this fight better. Which brings me into the next section. This whole series was inspired by Sonic Generations. This game pays tribute to the best games of the series. And yeah, I do mean the best. Like, comment, and subscribe so you don't miss it once we're there. I'm going to be talking about it. I'm going to sing its praise. Each of the levels in Generations takes inspiration from and pays tribute to the most iconic area from each of its predecessors, with Green Hill Zone being the obvious choice for the first one. But this is not the first time that Green Hill Zone has been resurrected, and it's certainly been used and even abused far more than any other level in Generations. In fact, here's a list of Sonic games that used Green Hill Zone by name, not even to mention the ones that definitely took inspiration but called it something slightly different, like Windy Hill Zone from Sonic the Lost World or Seaside Hill Zone from Sonic Heroes. We've got Sonic Forces, Sonic Frontiers, we've got Sonic Mania and Sonic Chronicles, we've got Sonic Blast, Sonic Jump, Sonic Dash, Sonic Battle, Sonic Runner's Adventure, we've got both the movies, practically every TV show, 5 or 10 or 50 crossovers. Oh, and a lot of Sonic casuals aren't aware of this, but there's a secret bonus level in Sonic Adventure 2 if you 100% complete it. And you know what it is? It's Green Hill Zone. But the thing is, each iteration has it so easy. Of course people love a vibrant setting with happy, stimulating music. Of course people want to relive the first time they got their hands on a Sonic the Hedgehog cartridge and popped it in the Genesis. The singular, non-plural Sega Genesis. At the end of the day, Green Hill Zone is more than an opening level. It's a statement, a promise that this game and all of its predecessors would be different. From the soundtrack and the visuals, to the sense of speed and the personality bursting out of every pixel of this series, Sonic is, at the very least, special. And Green Hill Zone is where it all started. What an excellent job it did. If you enjoyed this video and want to be around for when the next ones come out, other games and stages that led into Sonic Generations, please hit me with a like and subscribe. And maybe leave a comment about what you're liking about these videos, what you're wanting to see more of, or maybe just something Sonic related that you want to get into. I'll be happy to chat with you about it. But until then, thanks for watching. I appreciate your time, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!